Right, but I want to talk about Rasmus Højlund and West Ham potentially signing the Manchester United striker. It's a story coming in from Raz Fletcher, who works for Team Talk and BBC Scotland News. But listen, West Ham have identified Rasmus Højlund as a potential target for the summer. Manchester United are ready to sell him for around £40 million plus bonuses. Now listen, Rasmus Højlund exit talk. The fact that we've seen Rashford leave, we've seen Anthony leave, there's been talks about Garnacho leaving, talks about MIILION leaving. It just shows that no player is safe for Manchester United. And yes, Højlund is 21 years old. He's a young, not 22 now. It was birthday the other day, but he's 22-year-old, a young and up-and-coming talent. But it just shows Amorim, the Ineos, the hierarchy at Manchester United, are not afraid to get rid of any players. Now, in terms of Rasmus Højlund, obviously, there were stories coming out that Manchester United want to sell him like post the Fulham game. So ever since he's had a few bad performances, there was clubs saying that Juventus, clubs in Italy, obviously like Juventus, are interested in signing Rasmus Højlund. Now, what you can say about Rasmus Højlund is, if there is sort of you want to give him some leeway, is the fact that he's 22. He should never be leading the line for Manchester United. He gets no service, and listen, the team isn't great and we ain't in the grain of form. But then you have to understand, with the limited service that he is getting and what you want Højlund to do in the opportunities he does get the ball, he simply isn't doing enough. And I think with Rasmus Højlund, there's a raw talent there that needs to be developed. But we need to see that raw talent turn into something. We can't just have a player who's there earning a lot of money. He's leading the line for Manchester United, and I think that is the biggest issue. We should have brought in a striker who was a bit older, who maybe a Tony at the time, or Watkins, a Gyökeres at this point now where we're currently in, to kind of help Højlund learn. I think with the fact our backup is Xerxes, who, with all due respect, isn't equally as good as Rasmus Højlund, you could potentially see where they are going with this fact. Now, I think Højlund, as I said, there's a player there. He's shown in many United games that there is certainly a player that we can work with. But again, there's huge issues with Rasmus Højlund at Manchester United at this current moment. And I think you have to look at it from a point of many Manchester United fans are getting angry. But again, as I said, he's not getting service. But you look at some of the moments where he has got service, that 1v1 chance against Liverpool. I mean, there was a moment in that game, what was it? Who did we play? Palace, where I think it was someone fizzed the ball into him. He took one touch, it was in like 94th minute, and it went like 10-15 yards in front of him. Like these sort of things, the basic things that any striker is doing, Højlund isn't doing at the moment, and that would be why I'm really worried about him at the moment. It's not about the fact he's not getting goals, because I think if you put Tony or you put Gyökeres in this system, yes, they would probably chip in with a few more goals, but they ain't getting tons of service, and that is the biggest issue now. In terms of what we do in terms of the summer, I think a striker has to be on the highest priority. Yes, we've got a wing back in, and yes, we could potentially need a midfielder, but I think a striker is one of the most important. I think in terms of options, you've obviously got Gyökeres, Watkins. I really do like him, he's proven. There's not really too many options out there. You've got Osman. You could potentially see Chidobe Martin. He ain't going to be leading the line for Manchester United, but you potentially could see him through. So there are opportunities for Manchester United, but I think certainly in the summer we need to bring in. Now, West Ham are reportedly interested for £40 million in buying Rasmus Højlund. Now, listen, for me, I wouldn't sell him at the moment. I think, yes, we did spend a lot of money on him when he was relatively inexperienced, but look at those sort of profiles of market strikers. They're not really many in the market. We've got players coming through the academy, Chidobe Martin, Brian Kiri. We do have options there, but for me right now, I wouldn't want to start Rasmus Højlund, especially in the current position we're in. I think we need to bring in someone who's more experienced, who's going to help Højlund develop, because as I said, there is a player there. We have seen glimpses that last season where he scored 16 goals. It was fantastic, and yes, he did struggle for large periods, but I think when you do create chances for Rasmus Højlund, that's when he's at his best, and that's when he can score goals. At the moment, the team isn't really creating chances. We're not really scoring goals. I think that is the biggest concern. But for me, I wouldn't be selling Rasmus Højlund at this current moment. As I said, there certainly is a player there that can develop. But I think since last season, he's actually gone back. He's regressed. I don't think he's actually progressed as much as we would have wanted him to. You have to understand he's 22. Yes, he's coming into a new league. You just want him to constantly build and develop, and ultimately I don't think he's done that. I don't know if that's due to the change of manager, but we just haven't seen the same Rasmus HOJLUND that we have been seeing, and that would be a huge concern. And that's why I'm really worried about him at the moment. Some of the games he's had for United this season have been very poor. I think that does come to the fact if we did have an experienced striker, there wouldn't be too much pressure on him. He could kind of settle in. With the fact that he's 21, he has to kind of go straight into the team, go straight into that mould where he has to be bagging 20 goals a season, which we just know is not his game. He's never going to be a player, or right now at this age, very few players do that. Only like Haaland and Mbappe have done that. So listen, I think there's still a lot of development for Rasmus HOJLUND. Should United sell him to West Ham, I'm sure there'll be a lot of clubs interested. A lot of fans who would want HOJLUND to go, and there will probably be a lot of clubs interested in him. But for me right now, I don't think we should be doing this. You can let me know what you think in the comments. From what I've seen from HOJLUND in the time he's been at United, there definitely is potential there. But I think it's down to Amorim and co to try and develop that talent. We've seen what he's done with young players. We've seen what he's done with the striker and Victor Gyökeres, who left, was it Brighton for like 1 million? Was at Coventry, so you can really see what can happen there. But for me, yeah, I'd be looking to keep Rasmus HOJLUND. Let me know your thoughts. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. Peace.